Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video I will do my tier list for the upcoming YCS in Bologna. So we try now to predict what are the better decks to play, what are the better contenders, and what are the decks that I think are not that great for this tournament. We can start with I think one of the best deck, if not the best deck of the format right now, that is Dragontail. Wins the YCS in Pittsburgh, the last YCS happened. Is one of the best deck that you can play for this event. Doesn't struggles against any specific card like Fuvalos and Drawing Logboard that more or less are really impactful against all the decks. Against Dragon Tails, it's not that great using Fuvalos or Drawing Logboard. You can suffer in specific situation like retaliating, but you have cards to try to play around. So in my opinion, Dragon Tales, if is piloted well, I think I can perform really well. Riser Finsmith, I think Riser Finsmith is a locals deck. It's not that Riser Finsmith that we know before, like in YCS Birmingham. So 100% is not that great. First of all, Fuvalos is a 3-off in every deck, and this deck really suffer Fuvalos. Then we have Crystron K9. Is a really contender deck, plays the K9 package that I think, in my opinion, is the best engine against Dragotail. Has a high ceiling. It's true that without Mjolnir, you don't really have ways to FTK immediately. You can do like Spell Canceller, but it's not the same because like with Spell Canceller, you cannot use the Force Released. So I think Spell Canceller, yes, is problematic, but not like Mjolnir. I think it's a great deck. The thing that I don't like the deck is the grind, because really in the combo tour 0, you play like more of the half of the Hexa deck. But I understand that it is a really good deck for this tournament. Lunarite. Lunarite for me is a top cut deck. It's true that Ligor Dancer is a card, but in my opinion, in this specific moment in which people start to respect the Malice deck with like Lancia, I think playing any other deck that struggles against Lancia is not that good. Like in Lille, nobody, and I tell you, nobody played Lancia in the side deck. Now Lancia is getting more popular, so playing a deck that struggles against Lancia as Malice and is not Malice, I think is not that great as an option. I think Lunarite is still a great deck. We have Malice, is still a great contender. Nobody played Lancia in Lille. Now someone is playing Lancia. It depends from that, in my opinion, but still it's a great deck. People starting to play like Meowls just to cover like Yami Mitsurugi matchup, and of course you can side Meowls also against the Malice matchup. But still, I think Malice is a great deck. Going first is really strong, and going second can play a lot of problematic cards for like Dragotail, like Bell, Ash, Fuvalos, Impulse, Impermanence. All these cards are really good against Dragontail, in my opinion. So I think Malice is still a great contender for the event. Memento, I think Memento is not that great right now, and I will put it in locals as Raisiel Finsmith. Mitsurugi Finsmith, that I think is not that great. Mitsurugi Raisiel, same as the other options for me. Pure Mitsurugi, I will put it as a top cut deck, just because the only card that struggle against is Troll Lockbird, but can play around all the other problematic cards like Purulia, Fuvalos, these kind of cards. Also, the main point is that with Mitsurugi Pure you can play Impulse, and I think Dominus Impulse is by far one of the best entrap in this specific format. Just because it's not only Dragotails, but also Yami Mitsurugi for on the ritual, I think is really, really good. Then we have Raisiel Dododo. I think after the emergency ban list that we have with the ban of Ouroboros and Protoss, I think this deck is not that great anymore. So I think is a local deck, let's say. Then we have Yami Pure. I think this kind of deck is really great in a long tournament because like has a lot of consistency, but also you can play a lot of non-engine. Like in Lille, I was playing 41 cards with a lot of entraps and a lot of one card combo, and I never break just one time all over the tournament. So I know that playing Yami Pure has this advantage, but I think Yami Pure is not that great as an option. I think he's a great contender though, but doesn't have a real matchup. Like against Dragon Tail, you don't really have a matchup, and also against Yami Mitsurugi, you don't have matchup. The thing is that you never break, and you play a lot of non-engine to try to cover this kind of matchup. So I will put it as a contender. The real matchup of Yami is like against K9 cards, of course, but still, I think he's a really good contender for YCS Bologna. I think Sky Striker in this specific format is not that bad. In my opinion, is a top cut deck, just because there are no like Mjolnir anymore, and also you can break the board of Yami Mitsurugi with the power spells of Sky Striker, in my opinion. Also against Dragotail, you really suffer the flame and sometimes the stings. If you want to play Sky Striker, you can do it, and you can do also well in a tournament. Vanquisher K9 is a great contender just because I have a lot of matchup against Dragotail. The only thing that I don't like is the consistency of the deck between like 50 rounds. But I will put it as a great contender. K9 Pure, I don't really like the deck. I tried it, but just because I think cannot be a deck entirely on itself. Doesn't have a lot of engine going on. Like if you play against a Yami board with like your opponent one card in hand, you don't really have a singular play. K9 is a great engine with another engine, but I don't really see a K9 to be pure, but I will still put it as locals. So Apophis, in my opinion, is not that great, like because Yami Tsurugi has a lot of gas right now. In Lille, not every people that plays Dragotail play Grand Fusion. And because of this, was easy to stop it with like a deck with Purge, Impulse, Psyframes, Ash, Bell, and Imperm, this kind of entraps. But now with also Bravo all over the top, and also the quick play Brand spell, I think is not that great. We put it as a for fun. Raziel Araldic, in my opinion, is like locals as the other Raziel deck. Finsmith Evil Twin, I will put it here. I don't really like the engine Fizzmith right now, because against Yami, you turn Lollipo in a great interruption. Paradise the Trap Fizzmith is not great as an interruption right now. Mermail, I will put it like maybe one of the best locals or Top Cut. Maybe Top Cut. Not everyone plays like Mulcharmi Puluria, or everybody is playing 3 Ghost Bell in the main deck, and Ghost Bell is not that great against Mermail. Can play Impulse as the only one statue that is remaining with, of course, the Dark and the Light, but the Water statue is of course FTK against all the deck. I can see that Mermaid can do Top Cut in YCS Bologna. So White Forest is like Memento. In my opinion, is a great combo deck that loses to all over the Charmies and the Draw Only Lockboard, and Go Second struggles a lot. Then we have the Yami Solfachar deck. Struggles a lot against Fuvalos and the Draw Lockboard, and the Yami Pure struggles just against Fuvalos. But I understand the Solfachar spell is broken, it's like Obedience Schooled. I will put it here with Yami Pure. And then we have Yami Mitsurugi, that I think is one of the best deck with Dragotail. Will be the best option for the YCS in Bologna. I think Labyrinth is just for fun right now, just because every single people at the event will be on triple Ghost Bell, and you don't really have like barrier anymore, so I think it's just for fun right now. Blue Eyes, like I will put it higher than Labyrinth in a local deck, but still I don't really like the deck. And then we have Despia. I think is really great as an option. I received a great support, a great addition in the last couple of weeks, and because of this I will put it as a Maybe a top cut with like the Mitsurugi Pure, with the Lunarite deck. I think Branded can still be a really top deck. Not everyone is familiar with the new cards. I really like the fact that the end phase is like the main phase free for Branded. But still, I will put it as a top cut deck, and I think it will do really well for these upcoming YCS. I think Gem Knight is not that great right now. Everyone is on Retaliating. Retaliating is really strong against Gem Knight, and because of this, I will put it as like a local deck. In the end, we have Orcus deck. I think Orcus is not that great as an option. Like as I said with the Lunarite deck, most of the people can play Lancea, and against Lancea this deck do nothing. But also I don't really like the consistency of the deck. You play into Stinks a lot, you play a lot into Horn, you don't really have a great matchups. I don't really see why you would play this kind of deck right now, and because of this I will put it as a local deck. So this is my tier list. Let me know in the comment what are your thoughts about this one, and what deck will win YCS Bologna next week in your opinion. We will see in the next video. See you!